The last things I just want to do a quick recap of is some of the things we've actually been using besides trying to structure our HTML. We've been using a little bit of the clip path, so making a square, I don't know if I can twist this, I can't, so making a, like this, a standard square box or a div block. We can flip it, we can create shapes like round boxes, like this diamond, and many different kinds, stars if you wanted to, by using this clip path, and in this case polygon, where we try to use these percentage to tell it where do we need to start, where do I need to end this the polygon, and how we cut it. But there's a entire video about that if you want to recap that. We also been using images, so this would be how we can actually write the code to implement an image in our HTML. So image source and where the source is, and remember this would be a source located on your computer in the same folder as the index. If I were to have an image folder where they are, I would have to do this, so images/image1.jpg. The reason for this is you need to tell the system specifically where you need to go. The other way is to use CSS for this, to have CSS actually implement the image inside a div block, so we can't really click it and pull it, and we can change it a little bit so it's not part of the content per se, it's part of the design, the behind design. If we had a CSS file, which we should in a CSS folder, and we need to go into a image folder to get this, I'm just going to pull this down here because I'm going to change a little bit, and we needed to locate this specific file again, like we just did. If it were inside a image folder like we had before, so all the images you would put in the image folder, an IMG or whatever, but since you're in a CSS and that's inside a folder, we need to actually go back one level because there's no folder inside the CSS folder that's called images. It's at the same level or beside your CSS. So you need to tell the system to go back one level, and we use 2 dots for this, and then slash, that means it's back to the one level, and then it's looking for the image folder, goes into that, and then it's looking for the image here. So that's kind of how we navigate a little bit around. Next part, we also use links, so AA short for anchor, and then we can, for example, here I just link to Google, in this case with this href, and remember these 2 apostrophes, and then we end our A tag here, and then between the 2 open anchor tags and closing anchor tags we put the link, and this I highlight now if I can make this mouse go where I want. Okie dokie. So this text here would be the clickable text that will actually take you to Google, and only that. If we leave this blank, there will be an anchor, but it's going to be impossible for us to hit because where do we press it? So we can put images in here, we can put text, we can put a lot of different things. The last thing we also did we did some CSS hover, so when you hover your mouse over things, so in case we did a grayscale on images, we did some transitions, so instead of being instant, it slowly fades from full color to grayscale. We did some shadow effects, so adding a shadow to this part. Clip path, we did some nth of type, for example here. The n again is the number, and the th is just for the, for example, 4th, 5th, and so on. So this would be the second item. So if we had a list item or so on, or 4 different p tags in paragraph tags inside a div, it would only hit the second one. Now we can also change this to, for example, just typing, I gotta get there, so odd, not odd, that would be 1 3 5 6, not 6, 1 3 5 and so on, and even would be 2 4 6 8. And we can also do a little bit more, like say start from 1, and for each third paragraph it would do something specifically. But that's again something you can test. Right now it's just 2. Then we did last child and we did first child. So the last element or last child in that, for example, a list in our menu, or the first element in our list will only be hit. The reason why this one is really nice is because sometimes you don't know how many list items you'll get, and this will automatically change it, so it's always only the last one. So it doesn't matter if it's 1,000 or 2. Some of the last things we also did was we used embed. For example, we use Google Fonts. You can also embed YouTube, you can embed Twitter, Facebook feeds, and so on and so on. But that's kind of a recap of where we are at this point. And again, for the season 2, we're going to be looking at display grid. So again, a little bit more building, but hopefully we can move through that a little bit faster than we actually did with the Flex, because now you have a basic or more understanding on how everything works.